and get started. Welcome everyone to today's business education workshop. I'm Beth Rossner from the Berkeley Chamber, and thanks to a partnership from the City of Berkeley Office of Economic Development, we're able to provide this webinar today. So I'm going to just go ahead and turn it right over to our presenter, Wil Hart from Smart Simple Marketing. Again, many of you may have interacted with Wil in the past or attended other training programs with him. You're in for a real treat. So Wil, welcome. Take it away.
All right. Thanks, Beth and Bobby. I appreciate you. I am going to share my screen. Beth, will you let me know if you can see that?
Looks great, Wil.
Okay, great. So our discussion today is, and I do mean discussion because I need your participation because I want to learn more about your business and how this information can be applied directly to you. That's the whole point of us being together today. I always consider anytime I speak, it's a workshop because we can get some work done by means of an interchange of discussion. So what we'll be talking about is how to build customer loyalty and increase sales with content marketing. And Beth graciously sent out a survey the other day, and it asked a few questions about what you're doing with content marketing or how much you know about content marketing. And so that was really helpful to get some insight into what's going on with you all. And so why is content marketing important to attracting leads and converting those leads into sales? Well, content marketing is cost effective. It attracts leads systematically. It increases sales predictably. It promotes loyalty. And so it's amazing when you use your words and to solve problems for your prospects and help them to accomplish goals, that these things are become very easy for your business when you use content marketing. It's cheaper than running ads or maybe even flying cross country to some conference to try to attract leads, but you have full control. And so that's what we'll be talking about today and how you can benefit from using content marketing. So here are a few rules of engagement I just want to share. We talked a little earlier about this being an interchange, and I'll be asking you some questions, and I hope you have some questions for me based on what we're talking about. And so Beth, Bobby, and I, we want you to have fun. We want you to relax. We want you to enjoy this next 50 to 60 minutes that we have together. And during this time, since we have 4 key sections that we'll talk about, at the end of each section, I'll break for questions, any questions that you have. So feel free to put your questions in the Q&A. I didn't know if there was a Q&A chat or in the chat box. Feel free to put them in there, but you are going to be responsible for keeping track of those because I'm not going to be looking at the chat, but Bobby and Beth will be helping, but we need you to keep track of your questions. So when they do pop up, please hold them until the end of each section. However, I may ask you some questions I will. I know for a fact, I will be asking you some questions during while I'm sharing the content. So be ready for that. Your responses will help everyone else, and it'll also help us to do what our goal is, and that's to have some fun, enjoy this time that we have together. So our first main point is understanding your customer's journey. Your customer's journey. What is a customer journey? Well, you know what? Before we do that, before we get into the customer journey, let me introduce myself. So as Beth mentioned, my name is Wil Hart. My company is called Smart Simple Marketing. My wife and I, we've been running our business for going on 17 years now, come this January 2023. And we've worked with over 10,000 small businesses in that time period. Now we are working with a lot of corporations that are doing one of two things. They're either selling a product or service to small businesses like us, or they are trying to help small businesses with business development. We build programs, like we'll work with a corporation and they'll build programs like communities where they can share content with their small business audience. So that's just a little bit about me. I lived in Emeryville for the last 16 years, and I love everything Berkeley Chamber does. So those are my partners I've been working with the chamber on and off for many years now. And back in March, I moved out to Fairfield. So with that in mind, let's go into understanding your customer's journey. Now, I'd like to ask you, do you know what your customer's journey is? For example, how many steps do they need to take from the time they get to know who you are to the time that they buy your product or service, and even extend that as a paying customer? Do you know your customer journey? Let's see. Any thoughts on just a yes or no is fine. Y'all don't need you to explain it. Do you know your customer's journey? Let me give you an example of a customer's journey. So here we have what's called a customer value journey, and you'll see a logo in the bottom right of some of the worksheets that I share with you that says digital marketer, because at Smart Simple Marketing, we are certified partners of Digital Marketer, and we can use some of their resources that help businesses like us. So when it comes to this customer journey, I want you to start at the bottom left hand corner. And here's why this is important. In some fashion, your customer goes through all 8 of these steps. Hopefully they go through all 8 of these steps. I'll explain them for you. So at the beginning, it's awareness. Like, for example, maybe you've never heard my name before or my company name, and you became aware of it because Beth sent you out an email, or maybe sent something to social media, and you're like, oh, okay, who's this guy? So you became aware of Smart Simple Marketing. And if when you showed up today, you became engaged. So I want you to think about how your customers interact with you. How do you create awareness? Maybe it's through social media. Maybe you write blog posts. Maybe you do public speaking like this. How do your customers become aware? Then how do they engage with your brand? And the next thing that they do is subscribe. And when they subscribe, that means you have the ability to follow up with them. I'll give you an example. Right now, I do not have the ability to follow up with you because you have not given me that permission. But if you wanted to stay in contact with me, we could make that arrangement happen. Now, the next stage, if you go up, right above subscribe, is convert. And that's when your prospect gives you money. It could be 1 cent or anything more than that. Once they give you money, that relationship is changed. Then the excite stage is important. We'll talk about that. The next stage to the left is ascend. And if you've been in business long enough, and you've had really great customers that just love you to death and they want to tell their friends all about you, that's the advocate stage. And then promote, that's another level of fan craziness right there. They become a fan of your brand and will do anything to support you. So to improve our sales, you need to know your customer's journey, especially if you're going to use content. You can use content at every step of the customer value journey. And as you see those arrows, sometimes they might be in the convert stage and may go back to engage. You can create content at every single stage that will benefit them and deepen your relationship with your customers. Now, there's something else that we're not going to talk about today, but it's the customer avatar canvas. This worksheet here is a powerhouse when it comes to knowing exactly who your customer is, why they buy from you, why they view your brand as important to them, why they need your product or your service. And when you understand your customer to this level using this customer avatar canvas, you win, because it allows you to create the content that's right for them. It allows you to understand how they go through that customer value journey, and you use these aspects of the customer avatar to talk to them in the right way and at the right time. So we won't go into this one today, but I'll give you an opportunity to build one of those out. So when it comes to understanding your customer's journey, there are 6 key questions that I want you to answer. We're not going to do this Q&A style, but these are key questions that you need to answer for your business. So the first one is, how do prospects become aware of your brand? Remember, that first stage is awareness. How do they find you? Is it through networking? Is it through maybe you host your own workshops? How do they become aware of you? When and how do they normally engage with your brand? So before someone buys from you, how are they connecting with you and showing their interest in a sense? And what is your documented process to for them to take a deeper look at your brand? That means, you know what, they raise their hand, they say, I'm interested in what you're saying. Can you tell me more? So that's the subscribe stage, where someone might give you their email address because you have something valuable for them to share, or to benefit from, I should say. Number 4, how do prospects systematically become customers? Can you automate that in some way? These things are really important to know when it comes to attracting leads and increasing your sales. Number 5, what steps do you take to fight buyer's remorse? We'll talk about that a little bit later. And number 6, how do you help customers to buy more frequently or purchase higher ticket items from you? If you can answer these questions, you have a really deep understanding of how prospects come into your ecosystem, take a deeper dive with you, and maybe eventually become a customer over a very long period of time, if that's how your systems work in your business. So let me show you, let's do a gut check. I want to do a gut test. So what's a gut test? So we talked about those 6 questions. Now I want you to think about how you feel when you become connected with a brand. So here's the test. And I want you to think about how you feel when you read these questions. Okay. So here's the first one. How do you feel when a brand asks you to buy something and you don't know anything about the brand or their product? Have you ever had that happen? Maybe you're at let's say you're at a trade show or a conference or something, and they have all the exhibitor booths out there, and someone just grabs you by the hand and say, you know what, buy my product. And you're thinking, what? I never had that. I don't know who you are. Or maybe you get spam emails and someone's asking you to buy something. Or you meet someone at a networking event. Maybe the chamber has a networking event, and the first time you meet someone and they say, so are you interested in my offer? How does that make you feel? What does your gut do when you think about that? I know my stomach is turning right now because I've had that happen to me on a number of occasions over the years. But how does your gut feel when you think about that? Number 2, how do you feel when you like what a brand is saying, but you don't know how to get more info? Now, have you had that happen before? Maybe you're surfing online you're trying to find a solution to a problem, and you find this brand, you find their website, and they have some really good things to say. And you're like, wow, I want to learn more. And they say, sign up for our newsletter. You sign up and you never hear anything. How does that make you feel? Maybe abandoned, or it's like, man, I was ready to give these people money. Have you ever been ready to give someone money and you had no way to do it? That's happened to me too. So how does that make you feel? Now, the third question, how do you feel when you like a brand and they tell you the very next logical step to take to deepen the relationship? Do your shoulders drop? Because you know that you have a problem or a goal that you're trying to accomplish. You found a solution, and this brand is walking you step by step. That feels good. In cases like that, when someone is helping you solve a problem, you're glad to give them your money because the value exceeds the investment. So that gut test is something to think about when it comes to prospects coming to meet you and the journey that you take them on. What are the steps? How do they benefit from taking a deeper dive into working with you? So here's the key point for this section, understanding your CVJ, or understanding your customer value journey. When it comes to developing content, make sure you're talking to the right customer with the right message at the right time. That's why that customer value journey is so important. You speak totally differently to someone who is newly aware of your brand or your product or service than you would to someone who has bought from you 3 or 4 times. See how the content that you develop for them they're vastly different. Right customer, right message, right time. So here's something to another look at the customer value journey. It kind of gives you an idea of some things that are happening at each stage of the journey. So awareness, maybe you run an ad and someone is like, oh, Smart Simple Market, I know who they are now. Then maybe you send them, maybe they're on your website and they are commenting on your blog, or they're in social media and they're engaging with you there. And then you know what, they want to take it further and they opt in at the subscribe stage and say, please tell me more information. You give them some gated content. They exchange their email address for your valuable content. And at some point after that, see how the content will change at the convert stage. You make them an offer, because if they've already gone through those previous steps, they're saying, I want to take a deeper dive. And so you give them an opportunity at the convert stage. And then when they convert, we'll talk about the excite stage a little later and also the ascension stage. But think about this. When we're talking about using content to increase sales, it's so much nicer when someone buys from you one time and then you can give them more value with another product, or maybe extend a contract and just increase that customer lifetime value. So I want you to consider that as we have our discussion today. So let me take a moment before we move forward. Do you have any questions about what we've discussed with regards to understanding your customer value journey? Any questions? And Beth, if you see anything that I'm not seeing, let me just scream out.
I will do. Thanks.
Okay. Okay, so no questions. So we will move right on into content that generates leads. Now, you came here because you saw the title, using how to use content to increase leads and sales. And so that became something that was valuable to you. So let's talk about that. All sales, and here's the key point, all sales begin with that customer value journey that we talked about at the beginning. Understanding your customer needs enables you to serve them better. So remember, there are 8 steps of that customer value journey that we've identified, and you want to talk to people specifically at their stage. And when you can demonstrate that you understand their problems or you can help them to accomplish goals, they'll buy from you. They want to give you their money. That is how you increase sales with content. So when does your prospect become a qualified lead? Think about that for your own business. When does your prospect become a qualified lead? I'm trying to think of, let's see, I wonder what type of businesses we have here. You know what, let me try something. See. I want to see some people.
I can remove your spotlight, Will, if you'd like.
Here at the chamber, I feel like we consider that when somebody that we reach out to attends one of our events or responds to some sort of interaction that we create.
Yeah, nice. So when they attend the event, they're responding, they're engaged. Anyone else? What is a sales qualified lead for you? What action do they take that makes you qualify them as a lead?
It could be when they ask for more information or sign up for your emails.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Any other thoughts on your specific business? I'd love to know. Now, these are your folks, Beth. Do you know what kind of businesses? You don't have to call people out, but do you know what kind of businesses we have on the on the call right now?
Yeah, we have, let's see, we have a health practitioner on here. We've got a business improvement district on here. I don't want to put anybody too on the spot. And then we actually have a couple prospective chamber members on the call as well.
Okay. I mean, what type of businesses do they have though?
Well, I know my friend Sarah on the call. So Sarah, sorry for putting you on the spot, but
Right.
Sarah practices orthobionomy, which is body movement.
Oh, okay. All right. Awesome. So I'm gonna show you an example of what it looks like when a prospect goes from awareness to potentially becoming a customer. And the reason I'm asking the question, how do you know when you have a sales qualified lead, is because I want you to connect to this content that we're sharing. Okay, so let's see. Let me make this small again. And let me go back to sharing. Okay. Another question that I wanted to ask is, how do you generate leads now? That's something to consider. It's important for you to know, because when it comes to creating content that attracts leads and converts them to sales, just understanding that process is so important. If our business is to wait and see, then we can't really control that, right? But if we have a system for creating that awareness, generating awareness, attracting leads, and then moving them through our customer value journey as quickly and as seamlessly as possible, that is how we attract leads and generate sales. So let me take you on the journey of an example. You'll see at the top right-hand corner, I put on here this woman's website. Her name is Esther Avant. She is a health coach for women. And I'll tell you what, there's a lot of opportunity for those of you on this call. If you aren't creating content for your audience right now, I mean, it's the time to start is now. I'll give you an example. For weeks, I've been trying to find a person in Berkeley, like a personal trainer. I just wanted to use a personal trainer or health coach as an example. I can't even remember where she is, but she's definitely not here in the Bay Area. But I was looking in the Bay Area, I'm searching. It's like I'm trying to find someone that we could go on this customer value journey with, right? But it was difficult. So I think there's a lot of opportunity here for creating content and attracting your audience to your brand. So let's take a look at Esther Avant. This is her website, right? So let's say I search in a browser. I am interested in getting motivated to lose weight, right? So I come to this website, or maybe her blog post comes up in the search, in a search engine results page, and I see here, how to get motivated to lose weight. And this is real for me. I mean, this is a real thing for me. I've been, that's my thing. Especially after COVID, right? For me personally, that's my thing. So I come here, I see this blog post. I'll show you something else too. This is really nice. Esther offers this quiz. So this is what you would call a lead magnet. This is really good content that she created for her prospects. It's a free quiz, and I'll show you how she turns you into a lead after you take that. So anyway, let's go back to the blog post. So I want to go to the blog post. Here it is. I don't try to read that. That's not the point. The point here is, look at the bottom. You will see at the end of every one of her blog posts that I looked at, there's an opportunity to take the quiz. So are you ready to lose fat? Take the quiz. I'm like, okay, I found the article that I liked. I like your content. It's good. It was valuable. It was free. And so, yeah, I'll take your little quiz because this is attractive to me. I want to know the #1 weight loss mistake that I might be making. So I'll take the quiz. Okay. And here's the key. After I take the quiz, this pops up. So now if I want the results of this quiz, I have to give my name and my email address. Valuable content. So I'm at the awareness stage. Well, I'm at the engage stage now because I read the blog post and then I clicked on the take the quiz. I took the quiz, so I'm super engaged. Now I want the results. I want that valuable information that is tailored to me. So I give Esther my email address and my name, and I get the results of the quiz. And you know what I get next? I'm on her email list because I'm opting in to her email list by doing this. So what is the lesson here? What is Esther teaching us? What am I trying to share with you in that example? You have so much opportunity to use content to take someone from not even knowing you to becoming a raving fan, a buying customer, a person who buys multiple times. That's the lesson. But you have to have a system for it. Maybe it's not your website, but it has to be something. Where do your ideal prospects hang out? How do you get in front of them and show them, hey, I have something very valuable for you. I can help you solve problems and accomplish goals. Nice to meet you. And then they come into your customer value journey. So remember that key point. It is giving customers the right content at the right time equals increased leads and sales. The right content at the right time. It increases your leads and sales. So are there any questions about using content that attracts leads? Any questions?
Yeah, Will, something had come into the chat just after the first section.
Okay.
Someone's having an issue with their email. Gmail has decided to call all of my emails spam, and clients, even if I'm replying to just that one, don't see my response. What to do? Is that something that you can address?
Hold on, I don't
If
understand.
you can't even reach your clients because of certain filters.
Oh, I see. Hold on, let me try to read that question in the new
Sure.
problem. Gmail has decided to call all my emails spam, and clients, even if I'm replying to just that one, won't see my response. Okay, so I'd like to ask, are you available, Sarah, to unmute yourself so that I can understand this a little better?
Yep.
Okay, Sarah. Thanks for the question. So are you sending out marketing messages to a group of people from Gmail?
When I send out MailChimp announcements, they inevitably end up in spam. So nobody sees my announcement saying, I just wrote a new blog. Read it. You know, this is the teaser, read the blog. It ends up in spam. And they don't even know that I sent something out because people don't look at their spam. And I had a client email me, I don't know when, last week or something, wanting to confirm the time of her appointment or to change it or something or other. And I emailed back pretty much right away. And the next day I get a call from her. I didn't hear back from you. And I really need to talk to you about my scheduling. And I don't know that they haven't gotten it.
Okay,
so it's driving me nuts.
Let me
because
jump in there.
I try to do promo and it's not working. And I try to even respond to the clients I have and it's not working.
Okay, let me jump in, Sarah. Thank you. So three things. You might need to talk to MailChimp and you might need to talk to Gmail. So if you know for a fact that your email marketing messages from MailChimp are going into spam, one of the things that you can do is when someone is introduced to your brand, ask them to whitelist your email so that it won't go into spam. You know, normally when we sign up for something, it tells us check your spam filter, make sure it didn't go there. Encourage your subscribers to whitelist your email.
There's a problem with that though. The way to reach my subscribers is through MailChimp. And so if I email them saying to whitelist me, but it's ended up in spam, that, you know, I feel like it's a catch-22.
Yeah, so just hear me out, Sarah. So here's what you need to do. If I were you, I'd go to MailChimp and say, look, I think my subscribers are not getting my messages. Can you help me? So I'd start there.
Okay, thank you.
So first and foremost, go there. And look at your analytics and see how many people are opening your messages, because if you think all of them are going to spam, then that's a huge problem. But look at your analytics and see what's happening and make adjustments from there. And if you need to talk to MailChimp, that's what I would do.
Okay.
And with regards to, I mean, I don't know your calendar system, but you might need one that is really reliable, something like a Calendly.com or something like that. So, and also I would also, to keep that engagement up, if you get a call like that, you know, you might need to call, especially customers, someone's already paid you, you might need to call them. If you've emailed someone and you haven't heard from them, I would say call them immediately. So those are a few things that I would say to address that. When it comes to Gmail and email providers and service providers, sometimes we have to go to their support to get the greatest help.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Sarah. Thank you so much for the question. So you see anything else, Beth?
No, that's it for now, Will. Thanks.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much. So let's talk about content that converts sales. So that's why we're here, right? Content that converts sales. Let's go back to our CVJ. Remember, we can put or publish great content at every stage of the customer value journey. So right now we're talking about converting to sales. So you'll see on the map, you are here. Beth, is the top right of the screen blocked for you all?
No.
Oh, okay, good. Because that's okay, great. So you're at the convert stage. Now, so let's talk about what you need to do here at the convert stage. So at the convert stage, that is where you provide some information. And for example, Esther, probably in her second email to me, her second follow-up email, which is automated, of course, offered me a $197 service. $197. It was a piece of her main course. So, and that's a good thing. She already knows what I'm interested in. She offered me something that could take me deeper with her and benefit maybe faster. And so that's something for you to consider at the convert stage. Now, at the step from the convert stage to the excite stage needs to happen really quickly. It is so important. You need to get them to the excite stage as fast as possible. So let me ask you this. Have any of you, and type into the chat, yes, and if you have a story, I'd love to hear it. Have you ever had buyer's remorse? Have any of you ever had buyer's remorse? Anyone? Beth, Bobby, you guys have buyer's remorse?
Yeah, Bobby and I both have buyer's remorse here in the chat.
Okay.
So do some other folks.
Okay,
after
good.
90% of big purchases, says Bobby.
Excellent. After 90% of big purchases. So you as a business owner, what you want to do is mitigate buyer's remorse. How can you do that? Let's take, I think you mentioned a health practitioner, right? I don't know what kind of health practitioner, but let me use a chiropractor as an example. Let's say I'm on the chiropractor's website. I have this back pain, and he shows me a video that if I do this twist move and cross my arm over my head and, turn around 3 times, it will remove my lower back pain. And I do it, right? So right now I'm at the engage, subscribe stage. Maybe I subscribe for this. He shows me how to do it. I benefit immediately from it, right? Now it's like, oh man, this guy's great. I'm going to go get a series of chiropractic appointments. So I go and make the purchase. I'm converted. I'm a new customer now. what this chiropractor needs to do is help me to benefit from that purchase immediately. How can you use content to do that? So as Bobby mentioned, 90% of purchases, big purchases, he feels that by buyer's remorse. Now, you as a business owner, you can have systems in place where you welcome them as a new customer. Maybe explain what they're going to get since they have bought from you now. Get them excited about, help them to use it immediately if possible. It's not always possible, but maybe something as simple as sending a video thank you, personal one, not a broadcasted one that goes to hundreds of people, but a personal one that says, you know what, Will, man, I'm so glad that you came into our family. I just wanted to say hello and a quick thank you and let you know this is what's going to happen from here to the first appointment. Now I'm juiced. Now I'm trying to rework my schedule so I can schedule my appointments earlier. Does that make sense? When someone is excited about what they have purchased from you, it's called an aha moment. It's like, aha. And what they get is great value from that. It mitigates buyer's remorse because they're like, man, I feel so good about that because I got immediate benefit from it. Now, it might not be the whole service or the whole product, but when you excite them, they won't be looking for reasons to refund that purchase. So that's the excite stage in the customer value journey. If you can add that to your list, don't just have people buy from you and then wait 20 days to benefit from your service, especially if it's like a consultation or something. Give them something that makes them grateful and really happy that they made that purchase from you, and do that as quickly as possible. So please keep in mind, the excite stage is crucial. It helps your customers validate their purchase and avoid buyer's remorse. Now, one question I didn't ask is, have you ever felt really good about a purchase, big or small, and you're like, man, I'm so glad. I would have been upset had I missed this and known about it. That's how you want your customers to feel when they buy from you, whether it's a small purchase or a big purchase. Use content to help them with that. As I mentioned, it could be a video, it could be an explainer series of emails, something that they'll keep looking forward to the reason, or keep looking for reasons to validate that purchase. And when you make that happen as soon as possible, you win every time. Any questions about the convert, creating content at the convert stage? Give you all a second. Any questions? Okay, we're moving along really well. So what we're going to do now is talk about content that creates multi-buyers. What is a multi-buyer? A multi-buyer is a person that increases your sales. So here we are at the ascend stage. Now, ideally, back, 2 steps back, 2 stages back at the convert stage, maybe it's a smaller purchase because they're just getting to know you. And remember earlier I said, even if they spend 1 cent with you, the relationship has fundamentally changed. I have a question. I gotta go back to the 90s real quick. To the 90s. Maybe it was even earlier than 90s. Let me see. I gotta see faces or see people. Does anyone remember Columbia House? Did anyone ever use Columbia House? Or what was the other one? What was the other one, Beth and Bobby? What was their competitor? Because I signed up to both of them. Columbia House. Well, anyway, let me talk about Columbia House. So Columbia House, if you remember those days, you could, I think it was, get 13 CDs for like 1 cent or something like that, maybe $1. I can't. It was ridiculous. It was so ridiculous. And they would send you all these CDs for that very small price. What was the point of that? The point was to get you in their ecosystem. You remember how excited you were when you got man.
I'm flashing back, Will.
Yeah. It was so awesome. I signed up everybody in the house. I'm telling you, I had hundreds of CDs just as a starter. You know what I mean? So that was a brilliant model back in those days. Man, I gotta remember that other one. Anyway,
BMG.
Yes, that's it. BMG. That was the one with the little dog speaking into the record player. That's right. Yeah. So anyway, the goal was to get you and to become an initial customer, even if it was 1.99 cents or whatever that amount was. It was stupid not to get that many CDs for that amount of money, and many of us did it. And then they get their money on the back end because you would. For me, I would buy their CDs from them instead of going to Tower Records or one of the other record stores. It was so much easier. They were shipping them to my house. So what's the point? The point is you can create that for your customers. And when I get back to my slide, at the Ascend stage, this is where you have your core offer, maybe the thing that most people buy from you. And when someone buys your core offer, let's say you're a chiropractor, and maybe that core offer is a series of 7 chiropractic appointments. That's what the majority of my customers buy. Now, how can you upsell them? Maybe you ascend them, you increase your sales by offering them even more appointments at a discount. Maybe you have products in your office that they can buy. So you look for ways, or hopefully as a business owner, you already have ways where someone who has bought your main service or product, you can give them more value and increase your sales internally. Does that make sense? Anybody have any questions about that? I'll tell you, because Columbia House and BMG both got me, and it was a great relationship. I loved it. So there are 2 goals at the Ascend stage. One is to increase customer value, which means we as business owners have to give them more value. I mean, if we want them to give us more money and keep giving us money, we keep giving them value. Number 2, increase purchase frequency. So as I just mentioned, with the Columbia House example, they ship you 13 CDs, which cost them absolutely nothing and doesn't cost you anything. And then in my case, bought more and more CDs over the years from them. How can you give your customers value so that they buy from you more frequently, or they buy either increase their contract if you do contracts, or increase that value? So that's what you want to do at the Ascend stage. So what types of content can you use to motivate customers to become multi-buyers? If you can give them, when they make a purchase from you, if you can make an offer that will help them to get to their to the promised land, or to their goal faster, or to solve their problem quicker, maybe you elevate their experience that way. They can buy the 7 chiropractic visits. But what if the chiropractor sells me an opportunity to get ahead of the line or something like that? Maybe I was in a car accident recently, and I need this as quickly as possible. And there's an opportunity to get that done faster. Automation is another way that you can help someone become a multi-buyer. They can pay for things to be done faster. Maybe you show them how to do a thing, your product shows them how to do it, but maybe with automation, you make it easier in some way. You make it easier for them to accomplish their goal or to solve their problem. Elevate their experience. Now, if any of you go to conferences, you'll see this a lot. You'll see the regular people line, and you'll see the VIP line when you enter the conference. That's brilliant. And they throw in a bunch of bonuses and things like that allow you to have a better experience. You don't have to wait in line as long and things like that. How can you elevate the experience of your customer? And think about special events that are just happening only for customers. Maybe you run a yoga studio in Berkeley, and you have networking events or something like that, or some kind of functions, and people walking by and they're like, wow, I wonder how I can benefit from that. They look like they're having a good time. And you're like, oh yeah, this is for my customers, Customer Appreciation Day. And you provide special events for customers only. Another thing you can do is create a community. When you build something for your customers and there's greater opportunity for them to go deeper with you, they understand your business better and how you can help them solve even more problems more quickly, and they get to know your other customers and see their great experiences. It's kind of like when you go to a website and you're searching for a solution and you find a company. What's one of the first things you do when you say, okay, this might be the right thing? You know what? I'm gonna throw that out there as a question. When you are searching for a solution and you stumble across a website and you're like, they might be the one, what do you do? What do you do?
I then look for reviews of that website.
There it is. You look for reviews. What is the experience of other people? What's the social proof? Community does that for you. You build in social proof into your ecosystem. And now keep in mind, we're all small business owners, I think, or maybe work for a small business. These things do not take too much time or too much money. We just have to be creative in making sure that we are looking for ways to give more value. When we give more value to people who are already our customers, that increases sales. And all of these things, these 5 points, these are just 5. There are several other ways that you can help someone to become a multi-buyer. These can be encouraged by the use of content that you develop, be it on your website, through your email, maybe you have a YouTube channel, whatever it is. Content can help you at every stage of increasing sales. Okay, so key point. It is easier to get a paying customer to buy from you again than it is to get a new customer to buy from you for the first time. That's just proven. And if you've had any customers at all, you understand that this is true. For example, if let's say a business is running ads, Google ads, Facebook ads, or whatever, they're spending money to create awareness, to bring someone in. Now, when that person is in their ecosystem, they're going through the engage stage, subscribe stage, now in the convert stage. When they convert and pay you a little bit of money, maybe that covers the cost of those ads. Now, when you get them to ascend, it's so much easier to get them to buy from you multiple times than it is to get a new customer that you've never met. Key point. So let's do a version of this together. I don't know, but yeah, anyway, let's do a version of this together. So we talked about the customer value journey worksheet. Customer value journey worksheet. My goal in helping you to do this, us do it together, we kind of talked about this for almost an hour or so right now, about 47 minutes. But what I'd like to do is do this one-on-one with you so that you can understand your customer journey. If you don't have one, we can develop one so that you can understand what your customers are going through and how you can improve their experience. We can build out all 8 stages of your customer journey. Another thing that I want to help you to do is create your customer avatar. This will help you understand your customer. Now I'm talking about people who have already given you money, and think about your very best customers. You want absolutely more of them. You want your book filled with ideal customers. How do you get there? Well, you have to understand the ones that have bought from you in the past. Which ones do you want to avoid and which ones do you want more of? When you in detail create your customer avatar, you'll attract those people that you want to work with more easily, more systematically. It'll increase your leads and your sales. So I would like for you, if you found any value in what we talked about today, we can do that together. So for $97, here's what we'll do. we will have a 60-minute action plan, and we will walk through your customer value journey, your CVJ, build that out, and your customer avatar canvas, build that out for you as well. Additionally, we'll talk about some content that you can create. If you're not developing content now, and Sarah mentioned that she's doing email, maybe some of you others are out emails, you're doing email marketing. We can talk about some other things that could really help you to keep attracting the right leads and also converting more sales. So if you're interested in that, here's my phone number. And we can deal with all the details and stuff later. But again, it's a $97 investment. Text me, say, hey, you know what? This is Will. I'm interested at 510-402-8090. I'll turn my phone off now so it won't be distracting. Okay. So yeah, if you're interested in that, please let me know. Hopefully this was valuable to you. And before we head out, are there any questions about the content that creates multiple buyers? Any questions about that last section?
Will, there was one other question that came in. How can the excite level be translated for regular retail where there is no loyalty program or no email collection?
Oh, well, you know what? That's a really good question, because normally if we're at a store and we see something we like, that excites us. I mean, that's why we get it. We're there, and actually we are engaged buyers, right? We're likely there because we want something. We see something we like, and just naturally that creates excitement for us. But what you could do is offer a coupon for something else, and maybe at a higher ticket. And I mean, retailers do that all the time. Oh, here's a coupon, spend $500 next time and you get this benefit. So things like that, we see that all the time. You can, a good way to look at it, Sandra, is Amazon, right? Amazon, if you shop on Amazon, many of us shop on Amazon. You go for the thing that you want and they'll give you so many other options to enhance your purchase. That's the epitome of the excite stage when you buy from Amazon. Sandra, does that answer your question, or do you have a follow-up question?
I think we're good.
Oh,
yes.
She said yes. Okay, great. Let's see. So again, there's that. If you want to talk outside of here, there's my number again at the bottom of the screen. Thank you for asking, those of you that asked. And Sarah, if you will you put that survey link into the chat? I want to ask you all a favor. If you're up for it, this is an anonymous survey. It would be great for the chamber to know, what you thought about this presentation. It would be great for me too, because if I need to change some things or make some adjustments, that's always my goal, is to give you the best information that's valuable, things that you can act on right away. Okay. So if you have time, it's only it won't even take 3 minutes, this survey, I think it takes less than that. So that would be a great help to me and also the chamber. So it was great being here with you all today. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day. I really appreciate you. I hope this was valuable, and yeah, I look forward to maybe connecting with you next time.
Thank you.
It was very valuable.
Thank you, Will.
Yeah, thank you, Will. Just so everyone knows, I'll make sure to resend this survey. I'll send a copy of this recording, and we'll include Will's contact info. You'll be welcome to reach out to him. So thanks to everyone who attended today. If you have any other questions that you wanted answered, you can feel free to reach out to us after the presentation. And we look forward to seeing you at another chamber event coming up soon. So thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you. Take care.
Do you have our emails?
If you registered, then yes, we have your email.
Yep. Yeah, we'll send a follow-up email that help connect you with Will, and just send in a bit more information about the chamber applying the lessons that Will taught us today.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. We'll see you soon. Thanks, Will. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks, Beth.
We'll talk soon.
Yeah, all right. You guys take care.
Alrighty. Thanks all.